Hello everyone, we have finished review number 4 and we are now working on lesson 151. All things are echoes of the voice for God. No one can judge on partial evidence. That is not judgment. It is merely an opinion based on ignorance and doubt. Its seeming certainty is but a cloak for the uncertainty it would conceal. It needs a rational defense because it is irrational, and its defense seems strong, convincing, and without a doubt because of all the doubting underneath. You do not seem to doubt the world you see. You do not really question what is shown you through the body's eyes. Nor do you ask why you believe it, even though you learned a long while since your senses do deceive. That you believe them to the last detail which they report is even stranger when you pause to recollect how frequently they have been faulty witnesses indeed. Why would you trust them so implicitly? Why but because of underlying doubt, which you would hide with show of certainty? Absolutely. How can you judge? Your judgment rests upon the witness that your senses offer you. Yet witness never falser was than this. But how else do you judge the world you see? You place pathetic faith in what your eyes and ears report. You think your fingers touch reality and close upon the truth. This is awareness that you understand and think more real than what is witnessed to by the eternal voice of God himself. Can this be judgment? You have often been urged to refrain from judging, not because it is a right to be withheld from you. You cannot judge. You merely can believe the ego's judgments, all of which are false. It guides your senses carefully to prove how weak you are, how helpless, how afraid, how apprehensive of punishment, how black with sin, how wretched in your guilt. The thing it speaks of and would yet defend, it tells you, is yourself. And you believe that this is so with stubborn certainty. Yet underneath remains the hidden doubt that what it shows you as reality with such conviction it does not believe. It is itself alone that it condemns. It is within itself it sees the guilt. It is its own despair it sees in you. Paragraph 6. Hear not its voice. The witnesses it sends to prove you to its evil is your own. The witnesses it sends to prove to you its evil is your own are false, and speak with certainty of what they do not know. Your faith in them is blind, because you would not share the doubts their Lord cannot completely vanquish. You believe to doubt his vassals is to doubt yourself. Yet you must learn to doubt their evidence. Will clear the way to recognize yourself, and let the voice for God alone be judge of what is worthy of your own belief. He will not tell you that your brother should be judged by what your eyes behold in him, nor what his body's mouth says to your ears, nor what your fingers touch reports of him. He passes by such idle witnesses, which merely bear false witness to God's Son. He recognizes only what God loves, and in the holy light of what he sees do all the ego's dreams of what you are vanish before the splendor he beholds. Paragraph 8. Let him be judge of what you are, for he has certainty in which there is no doubt, because it rests on certainty so great that doubt is meaningless before its face. Christ cannot doubt himself. The voice for God can only honor him, rejoicing in his perfect, everlasting sinlessness. Whom he has judged can only laugh at guilt. Unwilling now to play with toys of sin, unheeding of the body's witnesses before the rapture of Christ's holy face. And thus he judges you. Accept his word for what you are, for he bears witness to your beautiful creation and the mind whose thought created your reality. What can the body mean to him who knows the glory of the Father and the Son? What whispers of the ego can he hear? What could convince him that your sins are real? Let him be judge of as well of everything that seems to happen to you in this world. His lessons will enable you to bridge the gap between illusions and truth. He will remove all faith that you have placed in pain, disaster, suffering, and loss. He gives you vision, which can look beyond these grim appearances and can behold the gentle face of Christ in all of them. You will no longer doubt that only good can come to you who are beloved by God, for He will judge all happenings and teach the single lesson they all contain. He will select the elements in them which represent the truth and disregard those aspects which but reflect idle dreams. And He will reinterpret all you see and all occurrences, each circumstance, and in every happening that seems to touch on you in any way, from His one frame of reference, wholly unified and sure. And you will see the love beyond the hate, the constancy in change, the pure in sin, and only heaven's blessing on the world. Such is your resurrection, for your life is not a part of anything you see. It stands beyond the body, beyond the world, past every witness for unholiness, within the holy, holy as itself. In everyone and everything His voice would speak to you of nothing but yourself and your Creator, who is one with Him. So will you see the holy face of Christ in everything, and hear in everything no sound except the echo of God's voice? We practice wordlessly today, except at the beginning of the time we spend with God. We introduce these times with but a single, slow repeating of the thought with which the day begins. And then we watch our thoughts, appealing silently to Him who sees the elements of truth in them. Let Him evaluate each thought that comes to mind. Remove the elements of dreams and give them back again as clean ideas that do not contradict the will of God. Give Him your thoughts, and He will give them back as miracles, which joyously proclaim the wholeness and happiness God wills each of His sons and daughters, as proof of His eternal love. And as each thought is thus transformed, it takes on healing power from the mind which saw truth in it and failed to be deceived by what was falsely added. All the threads of fantasy are gone, and what remains is unified into perfect thought that offers its perfection everywhere. Spend 15 minutes when you are awake, and another 15 before you go to sleep. Your ministry begins as all your thoughts are purified. So you are taught to teach the Son of God the holy lesson of His sanctity. No one can fail to listen when you hear the voice for God give honor to God's Son. And everyone will share the thoughts with you which He has translated into your mind. Such is your Eastertide, and so you lay the gift of snow-white lilies on the world, replacing witnesses to sin and death. Through your transfiguration is the world redeemed, joyfully released from guilt. Now do we lift our resurrected minds in gladness and gratitude to Him who has restored our sanity to us. And we will hourly remember Him who is salvation and deliverance. As we give thanks, the world unites with us and happily accepts our holy thoughts, which heaven has corrected and made pure. Now has our ministry begun at last, to carry round the world the joyous news that truth has no illusions, and that the peace of God through us belongs to everyone. Let us begin our 15-minute practice. And breathing in deeply. Breathing out slowly. Breathing in, all things are echoes for the voice of God, the voice of the Creator. Breathing out and breathing in. Breathing in, reminding ourselves, I ease my body and mind. And breathing out, I am safe. I am home. I am arrived. Just calling to mind our thoughts in today's practice. Noticing the rise and fall of our torso with each breath. Relaxing the face, the hands, the belly. And as we sit with our body, with sound, with feeling, with the sensations of the body scan, relaxing the face, relaxing the torso, the shoulders, the hands, noticing the rise and fall of the belly, noticing the gentle sounds of our inhalation and exhalation. As we turn inward and pay attention, we call to mind the thoughts we have been thinking. Where is our energy going? What are the thoughts that hijack or agree with our highest goals and values as a human? Are we consumed with worry, with fear, with anxiety? Let's examine the thoughts that are related to anxiety and worry. Where are we holding on to the past? Where are we worried about the future? What is a better thought? Giving these to the Creator and waiting to hear what is returned to us. What's a better thought? Perhaps we're worried about some of the choices of our children. Let's say to ourselves, I trust my child will find his or her way. I trust in my child's ability to follow his or her inner guidance and wisdom just as I am. Perhaps we are worried about a situation at work or in our homes. A situation beyond our control that may impact our livelihoods or our ease. Breathing in. Breathing in and saying, I trust. I trust that this situation will resolve so that I can find benefit. This situation will resolve for my highest and best. I will offer my highest and best through this situation. And let's sit with that for a few minutes. Let's call to mind any past situations about which we're carrying resentment, shame, worry, any other type of obsession or stewing. And offering those situations for healing. Surrendering those situations, trusting that we will find our way, our highest and best way. Restoring our sense of agency, breathing in and out. And as that happens, noticing our sense of powerlessness and helplessness in the face of circumstances fades a little bit. How can we approach our lives as fully present agents? And just noticing how stepping out of flight, fight, where every situation or circumstance is a struggle for survival, just stepping out of that relieves so much of the resistance we bring to these circumstances. Let's pause and observe just how much resistance we create and how much of a burden that is. How much worse it makes any situation. How can we change our perception and responses to situations so that we don't perceive we are stuck in a battle we are always losing? Breathing in and out, relaxing the face, relaxing the hands. Listening for intuition, for the voice of wisdom that tells us we are not alone. We are not at war. We can choose how to make this happen. We can reclaim our agency. Relaxing the face, the neck, the hands. Relaxing the belly. Let's place a hand on the heart. Let's take a moment to send loving kindness to our loved ones. Our open-hearted restoration of forgiveness and ease when we've made mistakes that seem unforgivable. When we push our loved ones away. Breathing in and out, connecting to our loved ones with whom we spend a lot of time, where we need to be compassionate and not lash out. Reminding ourselves that when we are healed, we are not healed alone. That every moment is a choice between heaven and hell, between salvation and fear. And heaven is the choice we must make, committing to that. Perhaps we are so consumed with negative thoughts and fear and anger, it's hard to digest. Let's offer it all to God. Offer it all to the Creator. Remove this from me. This is not how I want to live. Transform these thoughts into your thoughts. And making a habit of doing this every hour on the hour, offering all of our thoughts to the Creator, good, bad, ugly. Nothing needs to be hidden. Everything can be transformed. Offer it all. Expecting that these thoughts will return to us and be aligned with our highest and greatest goals as a human. Thank you for joining with me today for lesson 151 and for this 15-minute practice. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow and every hour on the hour. Have a wonderful day. Oh, and a reminder to join in again tonight for 15 minutes before bedtime. Please feel free to use this video or set your timers on your own. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.